Top of the morning to you on this cold morning day, and we're headed up here to Barry's farm where they're having farm day today, and so we'll be bringing that to you. But we thought you might like to see our trip that away. See, the Lions Club's been to the elementary school doing an eye test, and so all today together, it'll be a good day today. We're running down Highway 13 and just on our way. No overcast day today after a little storm this morning. It's been awful windy this morning. Blew most of my trash cans around, and I'm sure y'all had other problems like that too. We moved around kind of slow this morning. Stopped at Bobby's and got breakfast. We're coming up on that now. Just passing the campground church, just right where Barry's place is. We see the school buses are already there. Probably some concern about it with the rain that we had last night. Well, we're heading on down here. Notice the camera shaking a little bit there. Gravel road going in. Do what? What's your name? Huh? Lee? Kenny? Kenny what? Brian, okay. And what class are y'all in? Okay, y'all have a big time so far?
Yes.
Y'all all farm boys and girls? You don't know anything about no cows. These are cows, right?
No, they're piggies. Really? Crazy? No. Cold. They're piggies.
What are they called? Hogs?
No, they're pigs.
Pigs? Sort of, might be. You're going to be on Channel 12. You need to get in there.
I'm on TV.
Yes, you're going to be on TV. What's your name?
Tori.
Tori? Okay.
My name's John.
Well, y'all gonna have to be into this farm day here. I'm just hi.
Hey. Hey. Hey.
Just say we're Channel 12. Okay. And what is your name? Okay. Hi. All right, y'all go back over there and pet the cows. Hi.
I want to be on TV.
Well, it's down.
We are our whole class.
Well, they're only pigs like this one here in the state of Tennessee, and rare breed. They had to come out of Florida, and they're going to start breeding them here. Basically known for Hereford, they're basically known for the coloring there, that brown and sort of a tan color there. Stars here, it's all stars. Now, so what did you tell me about that pig there a while ago?
It's a Hereford.
Hereford, and come out of Florida.
Yeah, I brought it out of Florida.
The only one in the state of Tennessee?
The only one that we know of.
Oh, okay.
We searched all over. The only place we could find them was Indiana and Florida.
Would you just want a pretty pig to raise as a house pet? So,
No. It ain't a house pet. We just brought it from Florida because it's unique.
unique, yeah, I like that, unique. One of the things I like about Farm Day is these kids will give you any kind of answer. Kind of like the art link letter show used to be. Kids will say the darndest things. And they all like to be showmen, I guarantee you that. All these different farm people gather here and tell us different stories. And so we're going to... We told you about Riley Pitts doing everything from being a beauty pageant winner to wrestling cows.
Like when I was feeding my show steers at home one year, I would put the feed out and there was a bolt in it about this long. And cattle can get hardware disease off of that. And that means that if they eat a piece of metal or something, they can get really sick. Just like if y'all ate, you know, like a mortar or a bolt or something, y'all get really sick. Cattle are the same way. So I don't know what you do for that. Sometimes, don't they have a magnet that you can stick down their throat and you can get it out? So there's ways to
That's kind of hard on the teeth too, isn't it?
Yeah, but only, do you know, do cows have top teeth?
No.
No? Well, actually, I think they've got some in the very, very back. I think I've looked at some skeletons, and they've got teeth all along the bottom, and they've got teeth in the very, very back, these molars. But as far as having teeth right here, they don't have any. Because cattle, they're not like, you know, your dogs or your carnivorous animals. They don't have to tear any meat to eat. All they have to do is, see that grass right there? All they do is just chew on their back teeth, and that's why they've, have you ever studied like the dinosaurs and things like that, the different shapes of teeth? They've got, you know, flat teeth. We as humans, our back teeth, you know, they're all flat, and then you've got your canines. They don't have these. So, that's just something about the structure of the mouth and whatnot. So y'all are in 4th grade? If any of y'all interested in showing some cattle? Well, I show 4-H steers, and I really like it. And that's along the beef industry line. And what you do is, if you're interested, you pick out your steer and what kind of weight do you think you'd want your steer to be to start out with a project like this? No, babies weigh about 100 pounds. You want it to be about 6 or 8 pounds of decent. And you'll feed them, you know, like your grain and your corn and things like that. So, well, I talked too long, so.
Thank y'all for coming by. We've got a little treat for you.
I like them treats, boy. That's what makes it all worth coming, is the treats.
That's right.
Oh, we can ice cream.
Y'all hang on just a minute. Our new group, y'all just wait a minute. I'm going to let you get by here.
Oh, Toby. No, wait. John's right here. John.
Have a good day.
What's wrong with you, hot shot? Why ain't you on those crutches?
We'll stay here with Riley with this here class and see how they goes.
Hello. Hello. Hey, TV. Hey, TV.
I think this group's more interested in TV than are what you're saying, Riley.
What's up, television?
But y'all need to pay attention to her.
What are you doing, TV? Hey, Lucas.
Ryan, get up and let these girls be gentlemen. There you go.
Yeah.
We've been telling her.
I'm trying to sit down.
You wear shorts.
Yeah.
You need to run in place.
Alright. So what's the two main types of cattle? You said a bull, but it's two different.
Milk.
No.
Cow.
No.
No, they're...
What do they produce? Like one,
Milk.
that's right. Yeah.
Food.
What type of cow is that called?
A dairy.
That's right, a dairy cow. Now your other kind that we have here on this farm, what do you? A beef cattle. Beef cattle. So with a dairy cow, what are some of the things that it produces?
Cheese.
That's right.
Milk.
Yep.
Ice cream.
Yes.
Soup.
Well, it does produce poop.
Everybody.
No, well, that beef cattle produces food for us. But like you said with the poop, how can we tell that cattle have been out in this field recently? Yep, see, here's some right here. Is poop good?
No.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's fertilizer.
Yeah, that's right. It's fertilizer. And a lot of the time you'll have this big manure spreader and you can put manure in it and go out to the field. Do what?
Horses poop.
Yeah, they do. So with the beef cattle, what are some of the things that they produce?
Steak.
Yeah.
Burgers.
Yeah.
They eat poop nuggets.
They do not. Do what?
Meat.
Yeah, you got all your different kind of meat comes from them.
But not bacon. That's
No, bacon comes from pigs. That's right. So with the cattle out there, like I said, they are the beef cattle. And what you do with these, what are the daddy cows called?
Man, I forgot.
Bulls. That's right. They're called bulls. And your bulls and your cows and your offspring that they produce. The heifers, does anybody know what a heifer is?
That's the baby.
Yep. It is a female cow that has never had a baby. And a lot of the time, they'll be used for replacement heifers. And a replacement heifer is a heifer that you keep to turn into a cow so you can continue your operation. But the steers, I know on my dad's farm, we'll buy them around 400 pounds. And if you raise them, you just raise them and sell them and send them out west at about 800 pounds. And they go to a place called a feedlot. Does anybody know what that is?
Yeah, for the slaughter cows.
No, think of the word feedlot.
Where they feed them?
That's right. They feed them and they'll get there about 800 pounds and they'll feed them up to around, 11, 12, or 1,300 pounds, something like that.
And then they'll take them to the slaughter
They will.
house and then,
So,
we eat them.
yep, depending on the frame of the animal depends on how big it'll get. But if any of y'all eat Frosted Flakes in the morning, y'all do? Well, take the frosting off of that Frosted Flake, and that's what the feed for those cattle in confinement out in the feedlot, that's what they eat.
That's corn flakes.
It is. It's cornflakes. They take this press and they press the corn out. And when I went out there, I was about y'all's age, and the corn, like, I could eat it. They gave me a little bag, and you could eat it for yourself for your own consumption. But they take this big truck, and you've got these big, long concrete troughs, and they put the corn in it and feed the cattle. So you've got some that are fed on corn. What are some other cattle fed on?
Hay, grass.
Yeah, grass. You've either got grass-fed or you've got corn-fed. And which one do you think would have more fat?
Corn-fed.
That's right. Somebody said earlier they like to feed corn to deer so you can make them fat.
Yeah.
And that's true with,
And then fatten them up.
yeah,
Eat 'em.
so you can eat them. And a lot of the time, grass-fed cattle are leaner and thinner, and we don't like the taste as well. So, you don't like beef jerky? Well,
Oh my goodness.
so
Deer beef.
what are some types of food that cows eat?
Grain.
Grain. What types of grain?
Oats.
Yeah, sometimes horses eat a lot of oats. What is something that we like to eat? It's on the cob and we eat it a lot in the summer. Yeah. Corn is high in protein, and that's why you feed it to them. And you can also feed them soybean hulls, cottonseed hulls, things like that. And What we personally feed is corn gluten and soybean hull pellets. Corn gluten. And it's just in these little pellets, and you feed it to them, add it along with some other things. What do you see in the barns around here?
Cows.
Well,
Houses.
no, like, I don't know where a barn is at, but hay is in the barns.
Yeah, hay. Because they
What?
eat a lot of hay.
Yeah. Why do we put hay up in the barns for our cattle?
So they can eat. So they can eat in the winter.
Yeah, that's right. Why would we need to cut the grass in the summertime and bale it into hay so we could have it in the wintertime?
So they can keep warm, eat on it, and
Yeah.
all that kind of
Well, what happens to the grass in the winter?
It dies.
That's right, it dies. So you'd have to feed them something to keep them alive, and that's what the farmers do. So now that we've talked about that, what's the type of doctor that takes care of the animals? That's right, a veterinarian. You do?
I am.
You're gonna be a vet? Well, I think I might go into vet school too. So.
You're awesome.
So have you already went and saw Dr. Turney?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. What did he teach you?
That he takes care of horses, dogs, cats,
Mm-hmm.
and cows, and all kinds
Yeah.
of others. Steer are castrated things?
Yep. They're bulls that are castrated. So that's what the vet does. And how many stomachs does a cow have?
4.
Yep, that's right. You got 4. You got 4 compartments. No, the stomach. They've all got the same amount of stomachs. They've all got 4 compartments. So if a cow's sitting under a tree and you see her doing this, just chewing. What's she chewing on? Well, it's a specific term. What's she chewing on?
Grass.
Her cud. She's chewing her cud. That's right, though. She eats. At first, she'll take the grass and it'll go down to one compartment, and then what happens?
It comes back up.
That's
and
right.
Chews it again.
She chews it
It goes
again.
back in through the first and second stomach, then comes back up.
Yep.
Then the fourth.
It's pretty much regurgitated food.
It's like puking out, and then you
Yep.
puke it out.
It's kind of gross, isn't it?
But then at the 4th stomach, it stays.
It stays in there, and
And then gets turned into.
yep, that's right. And
we use it for cheese.
not the poop,
No.
but at MTSU they had have you ever seen a cow with a cork in it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Really? Well, it'll be in its side, and it's this cork, and you can take the cork out, and you can stick your hand inside its stomach. And you have to wear these big preg checking gloves, these big plastic gloves that come up to your shoulder, and you stick your arm in there, and on the side of its rib, the wall, it'll be these things about as big as my pinky, and they'll stick out from the side, and that's what the grass and all the grains come through, and that's what helps it kind of digest and break down. So if y'all ever get a chance, that's a neat thing to do. So
My dad done it before.
Did he?
Let me do it.
Cool.
It felt weird. It feels good.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes cattle can get into things that they're not really supposed to eat. Like when he said he was in college, they were dissecting one and doing an autopsy, and they found a doorknob. Can you imagine the cow eating a doorknob?
And it wouldn't get digested?
No, a doorknob and some nails and things like that.
Probably have that. That would kill it.
That's called hardware disease. If they eat things like that, you got to be really careful. I was feeding my steers one year, and there's a big bolt that's about this big in its feed, and you've got to be careful and not let them eat it, and make sure if you've got the old rusty hay rings, you want to be sure none of that falls off, and make sure there's no bolts or things like that. And no, sometimes they will. If it gets in their feed and they're not really paying attention, they'll eat it.
My uncle's cow, there was some nails, and the cow swallowed it, and then the next morning there was nails stuck.
Oh, did it die?
Yeah, he died all right.
Oh.
One time, my dad had a farm. He used that grass that and it smells weird.
Yeah.
He worked at one of them. He saw a cow, and he was limping because he ate something, and he was like.
Oh.
He was puking it up, And then my dad got some gloves and picked it up. There's like little beads about that ground.
Yeah.
And he lived because my dad took care of it. He helped me pick it all out.
Oh.
But he took care of it.
Yeah.
And lived back to the owner.
Well, one thing, there's a difference between cows and horses. Cows can regurgitate their food. Horses do not have a gag reflex. They cannot throw up. So if you see a horse throwing up, it's dying. So, well, we got some cheese for y'all to eat.
Do we get to try something? No. Cheese.
It's cow candy.
Cow candy.
Yeah. Just one piece.
Can we go to the cow?
No. I don't think cows like to eat what they made.
Is this cheddar?
I don't think they will.
What's in that? What's in
Water.
that? No, where's it?
Well, thank you, Riley.
You're welcome.
I'll tell everybody you wrestled. I said that on television the other day when you won homecoming queen. I said you could also wrestle a cow.
Yeah. I'm in my element today. I got my cowgirl boots on.
Okay.
Hi!
Hi. Y'all enjoy this class.
I said food.
That's good for shoe bottoms.
These are our show heifers. We take them around to different fairs and we feed them different. They take a lot of care and takes a lot of work to feed them. But they're really nice. We feed them twice a day, in the morning and the afternoon. And now we're going to let y'all come in here and pet them.
Tell them the difference.
The difference between most cows, you can't just walk up in the field and pet, but these,
They're used to being handled?
yes, they're very used to being handled.
Okay, yeah. Well, I see y'all handle them a lot. Sometimes I see them handling y'all. Well, one of the groups I've been following is over petting cows. We're going to go over here. What this other one here is doing. She can't even see.
Tie it on here, you put indentions on each side, then you tie it together, and then you wrap it around until you run out. Then when you run out, you have to add on. You keep wrapping around and around. Then when you have to add on, you cut your, so if you're adding on these two pieces, you overlap them, cut your little indentions on each side, and together. So then when you're ready to weave crosswise, tie it on again, right here. Make your indentions, tie them on, and then you weave over, under, over, under, over, under. Then you turn them over. Over, under, over, under. You got herringbone weave on the bottom too. So
You get classes on these?
Yes. I've got one going on right now at my house.
Okay.
It's called chair reseating. And you get your weave design from a piece of paper that you have, and the piece of paper will tell you. You can get it from my office. It tells you how many splits to go up.
Sure, I like to film them while we're fussing at the kids, you know.
Yeah, put that one.
Where's Smokey? A little too cool for him. A little too cool for him. We forgot about it. Okay.
You on one side, me on the other side.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. See, one of you, Smokey would have enjoyed this trip. He'd have been warm. He wouldn't have been over with his hands in his pockets. It's getting the time of year Smokey needs to be out and about. Yeah. You know.
Another tire will be looking at that same clump and everything's going to be ready to now, inside that tire there's a mouth. Each of the mouths, they have numbers. And where the lines cross is where the fire is. Okay, now, okay, who can tell me what the state tree is? Tulip what? Hopper. Right. That's the state tree of Tennessee. That's what these logs are made out of. Who can tell me the state rock? You can find this rock from East Tennessee to West Tennessee.
We haven't talked about that.
Okay, well now you know. It's limestone. Okay, now we've got two things. What is the state tree? Tulip. What's the state rock?
Limestone.
Okay, what is the state bird?
Mockingbird.
Mockingbird. Hey, how did you know that?
We studied that in 3rd grade.
Okay, what's the state animal?
Eagle. No,
the state of Tennessee. What is the state animal? Raccoon. Raccoon. Okay, now let's go over this again because you may have a test in, you may have a test next Monday. What's the state tree?
Tulip. Poppers.
What's the state rock?
Limestone.
What's the state bird?
Mockingbird.
What is the state animal?
Raccoon.
What is the state has two insects.
Ladybug and a bee.
No,
Honeybee.
No, not a bee, but the ladybug is one. He carries a flashlight at night. Lightning bug. So there's two state insects. Ladybug and lightning bug. Okay. There's one more thing I was wanting. What? Yes.
What is that?
What is this?
Yeah.
That is it's a branding iron. And it ran TDF, Tennessee Division of Forestry, in our hammer.
It does?
Yeah, you stick it in the fire and it gets hot and you brand it. And it, yeah, there
Is
you
it like
go.
one of them number things they put on cows?
Just like that. Now, who can tell me when is burning season in Tennessee?
Summer?
What does that sign over there say? The sign on the wall, burning permits required October the 15th through May the 15th. That's Tennessee's fire season. And if anybody in the county is doing any burning during burning season, they need to call the forestry department to get a permit. Okay, guys, I appreciate it. Thank y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Hello, TV.
Hello. You learned about fish.
Yeah.
You're a catfish man.
Yeah.
So what are you teaching them with these?
A little bit about tree ring, or I don't remember what
Aging.
the growth rings, as far as the time of the year that they're put on. A little bit about fire, the uses of wood, how it's good and bad, wildlife habitat, good for some, bad for others, those types of things. A little bit on how we fight fire.
Okay.
What I can in about 5-6 minutes.
Hello. Doing fine. How's it going with you?
Pretty good.
So you're teaching them how to skin animals?
Well, no, I'm teaching kids about this kind of stuff you find on the ground. Skulls and turtle shells and what different kinds of pelts look like.
Oh, okay. What they might find on the ground, what they can do with it after they find it or not do with it?
That's right. What they might find just walking around the ground and, doing nature hikes and things like that.
Because I understand there's some kind of bird feather that if they find it in your vehicle, they'll automatically take you off to jail.
Well, a lot of the birds, like an eagle feather that are federally protected, you can't possess any part of that bird, like feathers or anything. So you have to have permits to have that kind of thing. I don't even have any here.
I mean, but I'm just curious because you would find them on the ground, and how would you know?
Right. Well, there's different ID books to be able to ID different feathers, but usually an eagle feather is pretty distinctive. It's got that black and then white tip on it. Usually you can tell when it's an eagle feather, and generally that's just about the only feather that's protected, that you can't have any part of that bird in your possession.
All right. Well, see, I thought that eagle had got to the point that they were actually had lifted that.
Well, they have moved up to another status, but they're still protected to where you can't possess any part of an eagle or the feathers or anything from that. But they're getting better. We're getting more in the United States to where we can lift their protective status a little bit, but we're still keeping them under our close watch.
Wow! Oh! 7-year-old bundled up.
Oh, that's sweet. I talked to Daryl this morning and his uncle died, he said.
Oh, Daryl.
Yeah, he's going to go to the funeral home today because he was going to be here to...
Y'all like that cabin in there?
Yeah.
Y'all need one of those in y'all's backyard, don't you?
Yeah.
What can y'all tell me about tree rings?
They have many years that the tree is.
How old a tree is, that's right.
You just count the line.
You can count the line. That's what we call the rings, right?
Uh-huh.
Right. What's the difference between these wide rings? You see how some of them are wider, but they're lighter looking?
Yeah.
And then some of them are darker?
Travis, he didn't
These wider rings are put on during the most active growing season of plants. What season is that? What season of the year do you think the most active growth rings are put on? The widest rings?
Winter.
Try again.
Spring.
Spring. The darker rings are also put on during the growing season, which is what the other season, what is during the growing season? Summer. So spring and summer are the active growing season, right, for plants? Yeah. That's when most of the tree rings are put on. Now we can also, instead of cutting down a tree, I can use this device called an increment board. See how it's threaded on the end? Mm-hmm. I can drill into a tree and I can extract a core sample, which I don't have mine. Somebody might have picked it up. But it'll be inside this little tube, come out this little round tip that'll be actually part of the tree. And I can count the rings based on that. I can also see how active the tree is growing. Does a wider ring mean the tree's growing faster?
Faster.
It is growing faster. It's growing fast. Now, during a year where it's a drought, do you think trees will grow faster or slower?
Slower.
They'll grow slower. But I can use this increment board and put that plug back in there and then not have to cut the tree down. What's the shot?
Oh. Why do you have acorns?
That's actually not an acorn. That's pine cones. Pine cones are where seed is produced in pine trees, right? Well, seed, it can be used to form what? What happens with seed once it germinates?
What's that?
It grows new trees. Trees are a renewable or non-renewable resource. Are they renewable or not?
Renewable.
They're renewable. We can cut down trees, but we can grow more trees for the future, right? What do we get out of trees that's good?
Paper.
What else?
Wood.
Well, maple syrup for sap. Wood, that's right. What else?
Trees.
What about toilet paper?
Yeah.
Y'all want to be without toilet paper?
No.
I wouldn't want to be without toilet paper either.
What?
Well, guys, we can cut down trees, and we can actually grow new trees as we move the product, so they are renewable. What about wildlife? Is it good or bad to cut down trees for wildlife?
Bad.
It's good and bad. If you're a squirrel or you're a raccoon and you live in a tree, it can be bad. You're going to have to move to a new location. But let's say that you're a deer and you're carrying a fawn. Would you want to drop your fawn in the woods where it's open and things can see it?
Yeah.
Or in an area that's been cut that's a little bit denser where you can conceal that fawn? The second one. You want to be able to hide your baby from something that might want to eat it, right? So we can actually cut trees to improve habitat quality for some species of wildlife, such as deer. Now, is fire good or bad?
Bad.
How is it bad?
It makes forest fires.
You said it cuts down trees. You said forest fires, which is why fires are bad. What's the difference between wildfire and a controlled fire?
A wildfire.
It's more, well, what it is wildfire is not contained. It's something that starts and is just driven uncontrolled. We do controlled burns where we might burn an area intentionally, but we're trying to confine it to a restricted area. Normally it's a lower intensity fire. Y'all know what this is?
Kerosene.
Well, it's got diesel and it's got gas mixed in. This is what we call a drip torch. Can you use fire to fight fire?
No. Yes.
You can. If we have a wildfire coming from this direction headed towards me, and we light a backing fire on this side that burns into the wind, can that fire put this other fire out?
No. Yes.
It can. If it's already burned all this fuel, that fire can't continue to move forward, right? If it has nothing to burn, it's going to go out, right? Now, some other ways that we extinguish fires, this right here is the hose that's attached to a pumper. Now, we have a pumper. A lot of y'all have seen fire trucks that have larger pumpers and larger water containers. We have this mounted on the back of a pickup truck. Why do we have a pickup truck instead of a fire truck if we're fighting wildfire? Right. She said we can get into the forest better, which is right. There might be smaller roads where a large truck can't get into, but in a regular four-wheel drive truck we can. Now this right here, this is a fire rate. How would we use this to fight fire?
Ooh, like if there was blaze burning, you could keep it.
We could remove the fuel that's being burned, right? So that's another way that we might fight fire. Y'all have any questions about anything on the table? I saw y'all playing with this earlier. Y'all know what this is? It's a diameter tape. So if we were measuring trees, let's say that this was a tree, what we could do is put this around the edge, and that would give us a tree diameter. And in this case, that tree right there was almost 16 inches in diameter.
What's this?
That's from sticking inside of a tree. So if it's a large tree that we can't just wrap around, I could plug this into a tree and then go around the tree with it. Do y'all have any questions on anything?
What's that?
This was an increment board. We talked about using it to core into a tree. Guys, I don't have anything else for y'all.
What do you like to do in the woods other than hunting fish? Just shout it out.
Look at flags.
Look at stuff, explore. This is all stuff that we found on the ground. What do you think this is right here?
A deer. A deer.
It's a big antler, right? What kind of animal shed this antler?
Buck.
Well, other than a deer, an elk. Good job. An elk. That's a really big shed, and that's actually pretty small for an elk. What about this one right here? That's a lot different than a deer. Yeah, it's a lot smaller. They shed their antlers every year and grow them back just like an elk does. What about this right here? What do you think that is?
Why is it biting me?
What do you think this is in the water around here?
A fish?
What about a beaver? What about a beaver? Yeah, and
Why is it biting me?
what about a beaver? What do beaver eat? What do beaver like to eat?
Grass.
Let's go over here and look at this stuff right now, guys.
Look inside of this. We haven't got this yet. It's got loose teeth.
Let's just go through this stuff. What do beaver eat? What do beaver like to eat?
Wood.
Wood.
Trash.
All right. What do beaver do with the wood when they chew on it?
Build their homes.
They build their homes, build their dams. What else do they do with their teeth? What do beavers have to do? They chew because their incisors here will keep on growing. They grow and grow and grow, and they never stop growing, so they have to maintain their teeth by chewing on wood. What about this right here?
It's an
What does this look like? What kind? It looks like a dog, doesn't it? What kind of dogs around here live in the wild? Coyotes. Look at the teeth right here. Judging by the teeth, what do coyotes eat? Meat? What do we call that? What do we call when something just eats meat? Carnivores. That's right. Good job. Carnivores. What about this right here? It's a small. This lives in the water. It's a carnivore that lives in the water.
fish.
It's kind of like we have beavers, we have otters, and we have what? Muskrats. This is a muskrat.
Oh.
You know when you pick a muskrat skull, what's a good way to tell it's a muskrat skull? If you look at it like this and look at it, see how it looks like a lady's dress. See how this looks like the torso of a lady's dress, and it looks like where the dress bails out like a ball gown.
Oh yeah.
That's the only water carnivore that looks like that. And the skull.
Why did you find poop?
This is scat. We'll talk about that here in a minute. What about this, guys? Clam. What do we call them here?
Mussel.
Mussels. Good. Y'all been learning about mussels in class, hadn't you?
Yes, class.
What kind of mussels you been learning about?
Zebra.
Zebra mussels. They're invasive, aren't they? This is a native mussel, but where do zebra mussels come from?
China.
China, Asia? That's right. How did they get here?
They got stuck to
They got stuck on the sides of boats and they brought them over. Where did they come into? They came into our Great Lakes, didn't they?
Yeah.
What's the big problem with zebra mussels? Why can't we get rid of them? Why are we having trouble getting rid of them?
Because they stick to everything.
They stick to everything? What don't they have here in the United States that they have maybe in China? They don't have predators. That's a good job. They don't have predators here. So we have trouble controlling them because we don't have any help from nature to control them. So what about this? What do you think this is? Turtle shells.
Yeah,
good job. What's a box turtle? What kind of turtle is that? It's a water turtle. It's a yellow belly slaughter turtle. What's the big difference in these two?
Because that one's a box turtle and that one.
All right. What about the habitat? What about where they live?
Water.
What about this one? This one lives in ponds, right? The water. What about this one? It's more of a generalist, right? It lives anywhere. You see these on the side of the road, in the grass, at your house, ponds. What about this? What do you think this is?
Is that Travis?
Well, you see these all the time in the woods here.
Deer.
Deer. Good job. What do deer eat?
Grass. They're
Herbivores, right? They eat vegetation. You know, usually herbivores have really flat teeth. What does this have? This has little spikes, little sharp teeth on the end. Why would a herbivore have sharp teeth? What else would it eat?
It only eats grass.
What else would it eat? It eats nuts, doesn't it?
And nuts.
Acorns?
Acorns.
It eats acorns. So that's why it has these sharp teeth, because it can grind the acorns up and digest them. Let's go over here to the furs and pelts and look at those.
What's this?
What do you think? These are pelts. What do you think these are? What do you think this one is?
Bear.
We talked about this earlier. We talked about it earlier. It lives in the water. Beaver. It has a really thick pelt. Look, it's almost waterproof and it keeps them warm.
It's soft.
What about this right here? What do you think? Very close. It lives in the water. It's a mink. You see the black tail? It's a mink.
Oh. This is really warm.
What about this one?
Fox.
This one, a fox. What kind of fox is this? What color is it? What color is it? Red kind of, isn't it? So we call that a what? Red fox.
I like that. I like this one.
Let's find our other.
Those are fake. These are fake.
Let's find this. Let's see. This is a fox too. But what color is this? It's kind of a grayish. Call that a gray fox. Let's look at this one right here. What do you think? What do you think on this? It's got spots on the bottom. Bobcat. Good job. It's got the short tail like a bobcat. We have those around here, don't we?
He likes me.
What about this one? Kind of looks like a dog. It's got a bushy tail. What's one of the ways you can tell this from a regular dog? Look at how the fur looks. Look at how looks like a different color, doesn't it? It's a coyote. What about this? We see these all the time on the road, don't we? You can tell by what? The tail, can't you?
Before we moved into our house that I live in now, that's a raccoon.
All right. How about this? How can we tell by the tail? How can we tell?
Because it's the cattle.
What's special to us about the raccoon in Tennessee?
It's
Right, but what's special to us? Why do we love the raccoon in Tennessee?
Because it's our state animal.
It's a state mammal, right? What about this? How many of you have ever been sprayed by a skunk?
My dog's afraid.
How do we know it's a skunk?
Because it has a white.
It has a white stripe right here, doesn't it?
I smell white.
We have different kinds of skunks. We have a...
Black and white.
That's right. We also have some spotted skunks with white spots on. We even have some albino skunks here.
My brother found an albino.
Let's talk about pelts for a while. What was the big deal with pelts back in the 1800s? Why did people trap these?
Because they need it for the warmth.
Well, the food, but the warmth, clothing. What else? Why else were these leather? Leather. Why else were these valuable back then? What did they use them for? They used them for money, didn't they? Used them to trade. Yeah. If you had a lot of pelts back in the 1800s, you were a rich man because you had a lot to trade with. They still trap, don't they? What do they trap now? Well, they trap now more for tradition, don't they? To keep the tradition of trapping alive.
In the butt.
Do y'all have any questions about wildlife?
It's in the butt. Right now. I want it to be a plant. Why you putting it in your hand like that?
All right. Y'all be sure and grab a bag over here with some books, hunting guides and stuff in it.
We've certainly enjoyed having you.
Well, thank you.
All right, and your name?
Scott Reeser.
Scott Reeser? Oh, okay, Reeser. Well, we'll see you down the road, I'm sure, several other times. Sure. All right, thank you. Good morning.
Oh, Tori, look up here with it.
Turn around and grab Mr. Mike.
Not mine, but I'll wish. Can I hold the big chicken? Can I hold the big chicken?
Wait a minute, I gotta get you in here.
Watch this.
They're always holding carefully.
Oh, come here. Can this go in the yearbook?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm taking yearbook pictures.
Are you taking yearbook?
I am. Amber, look at me, babe.
Look at it.
Okay, put your hand over so don't fly away.
Dory, look! Dory, fly away!
This is the first and we got me and Tracy up on the side.
I like that.
I think we will be able to really having a good time.
I don't know what's wrong with these adults these days. He'll probably let you sit you and do that all day long.
Hey, look, guys, you don't run to a horse like that, okay?
Yeah, you
You move slow around the horse, okay?
I'm serious. Hi, little bird.
He said I'm getting all kind of good scratching.
Yeah.
That one's good. I can brush him. I'm gonna get on the horse. Can I get on the horse?
I'm just taking pictures of you all day.
Sorry.
Hey, I got a picture.
This head is like my whole torso.
cook up hamburgers, right?
I am.
Okay. Well, I'm just curious about that. You know, they all seem to be paying so much attention. I didn't know if they was doing that or swapping fish stories. So. Looks like y'all have had a good crowd. What was that you said?
Is it recording?
Oh, we're recording what?
Recording me.
Now, what are you trying to sell here?
Alright, me and Mason, we're from the Houston County 4-H drill team, and we're going to the state competition in Knoxville in the middle of October, and we're selling these raffle tickets for a Big Green Egg Grill, and they're $5 for one ticket, $10 for 3 tickets. If I was you, I'd go for the $10 for 3 tickets. That's a
better chance.
Yeah,
and a great deal.
This grill here, this is the large egg. It has an 18-inch diameter cooking grid. It weighs 140 pounds. That's 255 square inches of cooking surface, and it can cook 20 pounds of turkey, 12 burgers, 6 chickens vertically, 8 steaks, and 7 racks of ribs also vertically.
7 racks.
So, you gonna eat all this at one time?
I don't know.
You cook all that at once, or?
This is an 850-pound grill.
Excellent value.
150 pounds, $850.
Okay.
And
if I wanted to buy one of these after Farm Day, where would I call?
I would drive by the UT Extension office and see Miss Laurie Bobwood for all your grill needs.
She got a phone number that you can call her at?
931-289-6363.
6363.
6363.
Or 289-3242.
Okay, any one of those will get you a grill ticket, right?
Yeah.
$5
or 3 for 10.
Or 3 for 10. All right. Are you going to sing for us after if they win that too? We'll have to.
We might can do a little song.
Okay. All right.
Hello, I'm Chaz Offman, president of Houston County FFA. Me and about 15 other teenagers from the high school are here teaching Houston County youth about the future and the present agricultural world. We're real excited about it. We'd like to give a thanks to Houston County Farm Bureau women, and that we would also like to thank Mr. and Mrs. Barry Sugg and Mrs. Robert Sugg. They're our hosts today here out at Sugg Farms. I'd also like to thank Clegger's Piggly Wiggly and Save a Lot at the Ridge for donating today's food for the kids and for the volunteers. Also, Regions, Heritage, and Traditions First Bank all contributed to today's event, as well as MLAC, TEC, Co-op, Mitchum's, the Houston County Soil Conservation Office, the Houston County Beekeepers Association, the Tennessee Beef Council, Houston County FFA and 4-H, Rise Automotive, Miss Vicki Reedy, Houston County Animal Clinic, Tennessee Farm Bureau. Mr. Sam Fazell is grilling for us today. We have Shamrock Motors, Ace Hardware, Napa, TRH, Tennessee Kentucky Livestock Market, Air Evac, and Coleman Lumber and Home Center, and Cisco, and Mr. Mike Carter. We'd like to thank all these people for coming out and helping us today, teaching Houston County youth about agriculture. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned as well at home. And everyone have a great day, and we'll see you down the road.
Come on, just take that back.
I'll have a big steam of people, so this kind of weather, you would never get stung.
I mean, what do you think?
People throw them down. But this is how we go a lot of times when we get ready to rob our days or work little longer stuff. Now sometimes I don't used to be sick. Sometimes I just
I think he looks good in that bee suit.
Hey, it's pretty nice on a cool day like this to have a bee suit on. But you'll literally burn up in the summertime wearing a bee suit.
Well, we was talking about that earlier with Smokey the Bear, that today would have been a good day for Smokey the Bear to have been here.
Y'all have any more questions? Do y'all have any more questions about the bees? We've got one more group.
That's good. That's sweet. It's good. It's good, isn't it?
That ain't much.
Is it good? Is that real honey from real bees? Yeah, it does taste like jelly.
So everybody's tried it, they're done. Nobody wants to try the honey. Mike?
No, I'd be afraid of it. You make funny honey.
All right, the honey you just tried, it's from Houston County. This is it. See the color of it?
Yep.
This is my honey from my bees. And this is our beehive. This is a smoker. A lot of times we'll go up, we'll smoke the hive if we need to, calm them down. Y'all can stand up and come closer. All of y'all. Are you wore out?
Oh, what is that?
Come on up.
That's bee wax too. It's the same thing you got that little piece of.
Come up and listen. Here, we'll tell you about the wax in a minute. Anyway, we got the bee, there's the bee smoker. And here's a lid on the beehive. I'm going to raise it up. Be careful.
Is there bees in there?
We're getting ready to find out. You ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. No, I have one bee.
Where?
I'm going to show you. That bee made it. He made it here through the storm last night. I'm trying to get him to climb up.
Will he sting you?
There he is. She is. There's the loner little honeybee.
Will she? Will she sting you?
She probably would if I pushed on her, but I'm not going to. But this is a wax that they build off of which we gave you a piece of, and they lay their they lay their eggs and they make honey. They store the honey in the cells.
How do you extract the honey?
We melt the face of it off, and then we put it in an extractor and spin it and sling the honey out of the hive.
Wouldn't that destroy the?
No, this is
Where do you see a bee? Right here.
Oh, that's a dead bee over there.
Ew, gross, dead. Ew, gross, it's dead.
All right, I'm gonna put her back in the. I don't get stung.
Get stung? It would hurt, definitely.
Yeah. Anyway, what y'all had a while ago is the wax. This is wax that I've melted here. This is wax that I've melted from making honey out of the cabins. It smells really good. Make candles. I have a lip balm that's made from beeswax.
He had lip balm over there.
Yeah, and he has honey too. He has bees too. Yeah. But that's Mike's beehive that he has. It's a brand new one. Now, this is I got some new bees this year, and when the guy prepared them, he just put them in a bee box, and he put the racks in. He shook the bees in, and then he got all the racks inside. And then, after we got the bees inside, he put the cardboard box back on, like this, and he taped it up. And then I showed up about dark, and I picked them up, put them in my truck, and I brought them back to my house, and I put the bees in the box. Huh?
What, did half of them die, the bees?
No, this is just a box that they transport, right? Good. That's a stopper. In case you were to have to let the bees live in this for a little while, you can take the front off of it, and they just go in right here.
When you say you put them in the box, you just
I literally took them out, one in the rack, and laid them down inside there, and then I shook the bees out in the hive and just let them set out for a day, and then they empty this, make their new home.
They actually go.
Yeah. I brought them from Holiday, Tennessee, but this is what we have. There's my bee smoker. Here's an old smoker. You can look at it.
Can we push it?
Yeah. It's got dust in it from where it's been sitting in the building. No.
It worked just like smoke.
It did work just like smoke. It's actually, I think what it's got in it is dirt daubers. Dust, dirt daubers.
Don't spray them. What is that, Nathan?
Well, do y'all have any questions? What?
Would there be any safe way for someone who is allergic to bees?
Say that again?
Would there be a safe way for someone to keep bees if they're allergic?
Very good question. Yes. We have several beekeepers in our club who are allergic to bees, and you do your studying and reading and you learn, get you a hive and you use a suit. But if you're allergic to bees, you should already have been to the doctor and realize that you have to have an EpiPen. And the ones who keep bees in our club just keep their EpiPen nearby, and if they get stung, they use it. I mean, there's several people that are allergic to bees that still decide to keep honeybees. But there's ways of not getting stung, and one of them's working the bees early in the day and not working in when they're not working on blooms, and just, practicing things that are safer. Yes?
How do bees make honey?
They go to nectar on flowers, and they make the honey in their body and put it in the cell.
Do they put it in the cell through their butt?
Nope.
Is there a special gland that makes it come out?
I think it comes back out their mouth.
Ew. That's gross.
Well, it kind of is, but did you know that honey is the only food that humans eat that's produced by insects? And did you know that honey is the only food source in the world that does not ruin? They found it in the Egyptian tombs. If your honey in your jar crystallizes, you can heat it back up, and it never ruins. Matter of fact, actually people use it to heal wounds on their arms and skin for burns.
Cool.
Yeah, honey's got a lot of good. Let me ask you a question. How much honey can one bee make in its whole entire lifetime? Go ahead. 100? What's y'all's answer?
2,000.
How much honey can one
300.
bee? How much honey can one bee make in its whole entire lifetime?
About 2,000.
1 tablespoon.
1 tablespoon?
So you can imagine how many bees it took to make that?
Yeah.
A lot. Over 1,000.
Whoa. 1 tablespoon?
Is it true that the honeybee population is increased?
Well, yes, and we've had that problem since the late 80s with the parasites. Different kinds of parasites we have. Mike, why don't you tell us the name of the parasites?
Well, you got your varroa mite, we got a hive beetle, wax moss, and then you've got foul brood and the tracheal mite. Tracheal mite is the one that's in the throat. You can't even see it. Now you can see the varroa mite, which is real small, but you can see it. And the hive beetle, you can see it real easy in the wax moss.
We got all kinds of things that hurt our population, but education and research, there's a lot of things that help us, but I've done better the last couple of years, than ever.
Well, I know at one time there was talk, or I read that they thought maybe cell phones.
Oh yeah, there's been all kinds of theories, but they think that the whole worldwide honeybee population is just sick from maybe different kinds of things. The cell phone thing was kind of ruled out. Yeah.
Are some people allergic to honey?
I think so.
Do what?
I think some people are allergic to honey, aren't they?
Yeah. And you ain't
difficult.
supposed to feed it to babies before they say 2 years old or something like that.
At least a year, but I've seen some too. But it's funny, some of the old timers use honey for babies.
I don't know what the deal is
And,
with it now.
Y'all got any more questions?
Nope.
Think you'll keep bees?
Yep. Look, there's.
Time to go, isn't it? Bye-bye.
See y'all down the road.
All right.